Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Enchanted Cottage. We're going to do an all signs special full moon once again. So we're going to get into individual signs in a minute, but first I want to just say this. Overall, and again, I have not, yet sharpened my astrology skills to that which I aspire to. But at any rate, let's talk about what this full moon and everything going on astrologically and otherwise. We've got Mercury retrograde, etc., etc., etc. Everything feels like it's on pause. Communication is messed up. Like electronics are challenging. Miscommunication happens a lot during this time, of course, and we're always looking at the past for many of us, and sometimes things come up from the past to us. But this full moon is huge energetically, and it is big about releasing things that no longer align with where we're going energetically, our passions, our goals, what we are aspiring to in our lives. We can be talking, family relationships. We can be talking romantic relationships, situationships, people you haven't talked to, but they're still in your head. You know what? It might very well be time to let those things go so that you can move on to abundance in every area of your life, because it may be one thing in one area that you're clinging to, but guess what? It's affecting everything from you going forward, right? It's about taking that Queen of Swords mentality. And you know what? As I always say, the tarot is genderless, okay? But with regard to what is going on, have no hesitation, politely and lovingly, but swiftly, cutting out, snip, snip, that which you're not aligned with anymore, right? If something has served its karmic purpose, it's time to bid it farewell. Wish it well. We never want to wish anyone or anything harm, correct? Because we're vibrating, where we aspire to be vibrating is such that we wouldn't wish anyone harm. We wouldn't say, I hope karma gets you. No, wish them well, wish them peace, wish them healing. Bye, but not with me. It's kind of like the mentality of saying this. I want you to eat. I want you to have a feast, just not at my table, okay? Over there somewhere else, right? Because right now, this karmic cycle, this hamster wheel is done. I'm done with it, etc., etc., etc. So with that being said, we are going to do a reading today for all the signs as far as where you are energetically, what's on your mind, and what you need to release and what you need to step into. So that's kind of the nature of today's reading. We got, Halloween, Samhain, however you want to, look at it. And, all about honoring our ancestors, right? Healing ancestral wounds, right? Breaking toxic cycles. That's what this is about. And, I just had a big chill. So that truly resonates with me. But yes, breaking toxic cycles that are sometimes generational, sometimes related to past lives. Letting go of karmic yuckiness, right, in general. And certainly we can break those cycles. We're very powerful beings, correct? And so at any rate, Aries, let's get started with you. And I am pausing between all of these because I'm time stamping as I go along, just like I always promise that I will. But anyway, so Aries, let's get your current energies right now. What's on your mind? What is going on with you? Okay. Well, okay. I always throw out zodiac signs with a caveat that may or may not be your story. The messages behind the cards are what's important. But okay. All right. Yes. Okay. Getting this very big. Okay. You may be dealing with a Gemini. You've got air energy in general, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and Earth, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Again, zodiac signs, maybe, maybe not. The message, yes. Okay, Aries, here's the thing. You have the Lover's card, which some of you may be still dealing with a very strong soul seemingly soul connection or soul connection, okay? Something that you know, may have a strong tie to, okay? And maybe you're debating on releasing that, because the Lover's card many times speaks to having a decision to make, having a choice, and the advice behind that is to use your intuition to take the high road, the one that most aligns with where you are, you know, where your intuition, your heart, your passions are going, and where you're, you know, headed. And because you're doing the energy work, and I'm going to assume that you are doing your daily meditations, you know, shadow work as the need comes about, and that sort of thing. Self-care, very important right now, especially with all these intense energies, okay? But with that being said, you know, you will know, okay, have clarity to know and take the high road, okay? Wherever you are, okay, you know, you got the Five of Swords. That's all about re-examination of what you did wrong in the past. Nothing wrong with that. We're always striving to be better people every single day. The Five of Swords can speak to some deceit, hidden agenda, and turmoil, but it's all about the challenge to re-examine what you did wrong, what you did right, and to move forward. And at the heart of your spread, Aries, is the Ten of Pentacles, which is overall abundance. Many times that requires patience when pentacles are involved, or work, which is always the case. So I like it for you, you know, and definitely, Aries, I think you're, you know, I think you're trying to make a choice. And I think you're looking at some illumination, because that's Swords energy. And Swords is all about slicing out, you know, snip, snip, whatever doesn't resonate with where you're headed, your goals, your passion, your intuition is talking to you, Aries. So that's what it's about, okay? So with that being said, let's move along to Taurus. Okay, Taurus. So let's get your energies and advice relative to this full moon as far as where you are. We're going to go one more good little shuffle, Taurus, and we'll go from there. All right, and I always cut, you know that. Okay, what's at the bottom of the deck? Whoa, some of you Taurus people, you got the Three of Swords in reverse. Walking away from a heartbreak, okay? A third-party situation, perhaps. That often speaks to that. This speaks to things becoming more clear, communication in general getting better, which is certainly great, okay? Because as you know, there is a lot of miscommunication many times during Mercury retrograde, but it is a force to make us slow down. That's what this is all about, and to reflect and to heal and to step into healing, okay? Which is where I see you headed. This is healing, mending your heart, okay? Storms clearing, you know, the dark clouds kind of going away. There are some challenges that still exist, you know, and look, okay, you have the Five of Cups in the upright. Many of you faced disappointments and, you know, maybe dealt with some tragedy kind of thing. But here's the thing. The advice with this card is beautiful. You know, I want to show you this. So I'm going to get a really up close so you can see this. This individual is just all distraught about the cups in front of them that are overturned and spilled out and lost, okay? But what they're failing to focus on is what's behind them. They have literally turned their back on their blessings. They refuse to look at them because they're so over-focused on the negatives. You know, this card invites you and strongly encourages you to step into an attitude of gratitude for the blessings that you have. Why? Because if you're in a mindset of being grateful for what you have and focusing on your blessings, that is going to put you in the mindset of manifesting more things to be grateful for. Hello. And at the heart of your spread, which is also a major arcana, is the Sun. Hello. Long-term happiness. Okay, stepping into happiness, joy, vitality, stepping into your power. This is success. It can mean a marriage card, but it is a long-term success in general. This card is one of the most beautiful cards in the deck because it has to do with being in the right place at the right time with the right people or person. Take it as it resonates, okay? It's a very optimistic card. It tells you to be optimistic and be grateful. That is your message for today, Taurus. Okay, Gemini. Geminis, let's talk about your full moon energy, where you are right now, what you may need to focus on as we go forward into making affirmations and making changes in our life, cutting out that which no longer serves us, right? Okay. So we'll just kind of go from here, Gemini. All right. All right, Gemini. What do we need to know? Well, you felt very overburdened by something, and something may have come to an end. I'm just going to say that. And if it didn't, perhaps it needed to. Okay, again, very overthinking and overburdened, but feeling like you just can't let go, like you've just got to keep pushing through this. But perhaps that is not the case, okay? Because, you know, here's the thing. And I like this. You're in, you know, and you've got fire, water, and earth. And, you know, I always throw these things out with a grain of salt, because the most important thing here, Gemini, and everyone, is the message, okay? So, you know, you're invited to, or either you're stepping into an area of total fulfillment from within, which is beautiful. This is inviting you to see yourself in the eyes of the divine, see the beauty that is inside, you know, at the core of who we are, which has nothing to do with the shell that we're walking around in, okay? But we are pure source love, okay? And you see yourself and your beautiful, imperfectly perfect self, okay? And you love every single thing about you. See how that cup is overflowing? The Ace of Cups is all about self-love, because look, if you want to manifest love outside of you, you got to manifest love in here first. It starts in here at the core, and that's what this is. And maybe you've stepped into that, or you're stepping into that. This is your goal. I hope so, because here's what happens. You know, this is the Page of Pentacles is a messenger, okay? Pages are messengers, okay? But here's the thing. The Pentacles is about being patient. It is about putting the work in and doing the understudy, if you will, of whatever you're trying to do. You know, doing the self-work. And, you know, Pentacles is about putting in work and work paying off typically. And that is the case with this card. This is eventual, but it is a positive outcome. It is good news. It may or may not be of a financial nature, but, you know, it typically has to do with good abundance type messages and information coming in. You know, but again, at the heart of the spread, and what is needed is to step into yourself and find your own love inside yourself, which is going to make you more powerful, okay? So I like it for you, Gemini. Okay, Cancer, let's talk. All right, Cancer, what is your full moon messages, your Halloween, Samhain messages for today? We're in Mercury retrograde, lots of craziness going on seemingly, but it's actually exactly what we need, okay? So we don't fight it, right? We flow. Okay, so I'm going to do one more good shuffle for you, Cancer, and then, you know, that's just what I'm feeling. And then we're going to go from there. And of course, I always cut. That is a given. Okay. So, all right. All right, Cancer. What do we need to know? Well, some of you have been putting in some work, and you've got, you know, I will throw out the zodiac signs, but I'll also say, along with that, with a caveat, that may or may not be your story. What's important is the message. But you've been putting in a lot of work, okay? You may have dealt with some subconscious beliefs, or dealing with, or need to deal with, okay, take this as it resonates, some subconscious beliefs that are just not accurate about yourself, okay? Could be dealing with self-esteem, self-confidence, self-love, worthiness, okay? Value in yourself, okay? All of those things, if that's what you feel may be your issue, and oftentimes you're not even aware of it, because the subconscious by definition is what you're not aware of. It's the beliefs about yourself and the world that you may not be aware of. So this is inviting you to take a step into your subconscious, okay? You've got earth energy, and specifically Pisces, and I'm discussing the moon in case you're wondering. The moon deals with secrets, things you don't know about, illusions, fluctuating emotions, okay? Maybe some of you are feeling emotional right now, where you're kind of up and down, okay? This is inviting you to do the meditation to reach your subconscious, okay, to reach that theta state, okay, and to do some work in there. Okay, you've got the 7 and the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, when you give of yourself, make sure that you don't give with expectation. If you find yourself doing that, then that means you need to take a step back. Just completely take a step back from trying to do that, and, you know, do the energy work so that when you do give of yourself, whether it's financial, your time, your emotions, your energy, whatever, that it comes from a heart of no expectation of anything in return. Okay, by definition, giving is not expecting anything in return. If you're giving something and expecting anything in return, that's not a gift, that's a transaction. Okay, it's a contract. Okay, but I'm going to give you the business definition of a contract, and it is this. You know, for every kind of a transaction or a business deal or a contract, this is business law from, you know, an accountant here. Okay, it is this. Something is provided with something in return, equal give and take. When you give, okay, it is without expectation. When you're conducting business, it is equal give and take. Okay, now I'm not saying that in a relationship, this is not what I'm talking about. Certainly want equal give and take in a relationship. But when you are strictly giving a gift, there should be no expectation. And if it's anything other than that, it is toxic. So beware of that in yourself and others. And if you're dealing with that from someone else, snip, snip, that needs to go. If it's your behavior, snip, snip, it needs to go. Okay. The 7 of Pentacles, which is beautiful, speaks to hard work paying off. So I feel like you know, Cancers have some energy work to do. I'm just going to call it like I see it. Okay. Doing some meditation and cutting out that which no longer serves. And if it's the subconscious belief in this case, then yes, definitely needs to go. Leos, let's get a peek into your current energies as far as, you know, what you may be facing, what you may need to be cutting out, and that sort of thing. Okay, Leos, well, okay, and here's your story. You know, you have been or still are feeling overburdened and overthinking by a situation that needs to end or has ended, okay? I don't have to tell you what that situation is. You know what it is, okay? But look, this card, and, you know, again, we're talking about the 10 of Wands again, which is coming up a lot in this. But, you know, examine where your passions are. That, you know, don't focus on previous setbacks. Cut them out and move along. That's what this full moon is all about. You know, avoid the overthinking. Avoid, you know, pursuing situations that are overburdening, okay? Because that is resistance. You know, the illustration of walking with the universe is feeling like walking with the river current, the same direction where you feel assisted, okay, and carried at times, versus if you're walking in a river and you're walking against the current, you feel resistance, okay? It's harder. And when you take a step upstream, it literally does not cover the same amount of ground as if you're walking downstream along with the current, correct? That's the difference in going with your intuition, your passions, where you're supposed to be versus against. So if a situation is overburdening you, then it's time to examine it and cut it out if you haven't already. And maybe it's already over, but not in your mind, okay? I'm just going to say that. You have the King of Pentacles. It's all about stepping into and seeing your value and exercising wisdom, okay? And putting in work and being patient, many, many times associated with Pentacles energy, okay? But you know what? Step into already the success that is already there. It's kind of like this. And you've got the Queen of Wands, by the way, which is a call to action, a very high vibrational energy. Both the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, okay, can represent divine feminine and divine masculine, which is both inside you, okay? You don't need another person to make you complete, okay? The balance is inside, then it manifests on the outside, okay? So don't get that twisted for me talking about, you know, your need to find your divine feminine or your divine masculine. Oh no, both are right inside. Hello, you're a whole person. You're a whole individual. You know, I'm not preaching against relationships. I'm preaching against the need for one. Big, big difference. Big fat difference. Okay. So with that being said, you know, the Queen of Wands has no problem cutting out which no longer serves them. That's another energy there. Taking action. A very active individual about the business of their passions, their drive, their goals, their intuition, and what is energetically in alignment with what they're doing and where they're going and their overall call, their heart call. Yes, that's your passion, okay? So I like it a lot, you know, and this is, you know, fire and earth energy for what it's worth. Maybe, maybe not. The zodiac signs are not what's important in the messages today so much as, you know, reading into your messages for today. So at any rate, Leo, that's kind of where I see you. Virgo, let's talk. Okay, so what do we need to know going into this full moon, Virgo? What do we need to know? What do we need to know? What do we need to know going in? We're going to shuffle a little bit for you, Virgo. One more shuffle. I'm feeling it, okay? One more shuffle, and then we'll cut like we always do, yes. Oh, okay. Sorry, new cards. They're always a little bit stiff when you shuffle, right? Okay, Virgo. What do we need to know going in? And I want to know what the bottom card is. Okay, wow, you got the Five of Pentacles. Some of you felt a loss recently. Just going to call it like it is. It may have been financial, it may have been heartbreak or otherwise. But that Five of Pentacles on the bottom, what just was not going away when I was cutting. And I always like to look and see when that happens. Okay, why? So for many of you Virgos, you're focused on loss. And that's why that was there. You know, you manifest what you're focused on. Or if you fear it, you're going to manifest it. Okay? Cut out that fear. Cut out that focus. Focus on where you want to be, right? And realize and step into the fact that you're already successful and you already have so much to be grateful for, because that's what you're going to manifest, okay? That's the importance of that card, and that's why I saw it. Okay. Many of you have felt like you were at a stalemate, or you had a roadblock, where blocked communications many times, okay? But in some cases, you know, you chose not to see the truth. We're dealing with the Two of Swords, which of course is air energy. You also have fire. And I always throw this out with a grain of salt regarding zodiac signs. You know that. The most important thing is the message. Some of you felt like you were at a roadblock or a stalemate, or, you know, maybe some mixed signals, conflicting or opinions, inability to communicate properly with another person or persons, okay? And blindfolded, not seeing the truth. Swords is all about elimination in the mind, something coming to you or not in this case, okay? And maybe there are some things you are not seeing that you need to, that you are invited to see, okay? But here again, okay, you have the Three of Wands, which is a card of taking action and as a result, having success and making progress along your path. The Three of Wands can also speak to self-healing, okay? Healing of yourself, doing some shadow work, and working through and cutting out, okay? You have the Seven of Wands as well, which is you know, you have the tools that you need. That's what you're told to do. But it does speak to pushing yourself beyond your normal limits and stepping outside of your comfort zone. Hello. The magic is outside the comfort zone. Your comfort zone, toxic. That's stagnation. Move out. It's time. That's what this is about, Virgo. Love, love, love it for you. And so, yeah. Cut out the stagnation in this case. Take the action. Do the energy work. Hello. Love it for you, Virgo. Okay, Libras, let's talk. All right, Libras, what do we need to know going into this full moon? What do we need to know? What do we need to know, Libras? What do we need to know? All right, Libras, let's see. All right. Okay. Well, all right. I think some of you have been imbalanced and perhaps over focused on a certain area of your life. And it very well could be a job, career, or something. But at any rate, you have the Eight of Pentacles, okay? And sometimes, you know, that speaks to abundance. Sometimes it speaks to over focusing on it. You know, you have, by the way, for what it's worth, and I throw zodiac signs out again with a caveat. But here's the thing. You've got Taurus energy, you've got Earth in general, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and you have fire, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. So take what resonates. It may or may not be anything to do with that. That may be a, you know, placement in your chart, someone else, whatever, but maybe not. Okay, but, you know, the Hierophant speaks to being divinely guided, meaning this. Do not fight where you are led, okay? Flow and trust the divine to lead you. Trust your spirit, guys. Trust the divine. Trust the angels to lead you where you need to go, okay? You know, this talks about increasing your knowledge. Some of you may need to may have been dealing with some stagnation, maybe in the career area or maybe in your relationship, okay? It's time to strengthen your knowledge, sharpen your skills, whether it's in your spiritual path or wherever, okay? But that's what that has to do with. But be divinely guided, okay? Don't be a commitment phobe. If something is staring you in the face, then step away from that energy of holding back. I don't know why I got that, because that really doesn't have to do with anything that, you know, is in the cards. Certainly be careful and cautious and don't ignore red flags. Don't step into something that you know is going to be a cesspool, okay? But, you know, take this as it resonates. You have the Seven of Wands, which is actually the card just, you know, that I got for, I believe it was Virgos. But anyway, the Seven of Wands speaks to pushing beyond your normal limits, okay? Avoid stagnation again, okay? Because you do have the ability if you do the work, okay? You've got the Eight of Pentacles, which speaks to work being rewarded, okay? Abundance coming if you do the work, right? If you cut out what no longer serves you, whether it is a mindset, an individual, bad subconscious beliefs that are just not true, right? About yourself, self-confidence issues, and that sort of thing. But, you know, certainly doing the energy work. So I like that for you, Libra. I'm so sorry, Libras. But at any rate, that's kind of where I see you guys as what you need to hear for today. Okay, Scorpio, how are you doing? So here's what we're going to do, Scorpio. Let's see what we need to know about this full moon energy. Samhain full moon, honoring ancestors and that sort of thing. Breaking toxic cycles. That's what this is about. Okay, breaking toxic cycles, right? All right, so we're going to do one more shuffle for you, Scorpio, and then we're going to go from there. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I see this. Okay, you're dealing with some subconscious beliefs or otherwise, okay? You've got the Magician reversed, the Moon upright, and the Four of Cups upright. This is a very clear message for you, Scorpio. Okay, you're feeling bored and restless. Okay, you can't figure out why, okay? Feeling stagnation, many of you are struggling with options and perhaps feeling emotionally uncomfortable, okay, and unfulfilled, wanting a change. Guess what? Now's the time. You've got the perfect opportunity to do some affirmations, to make some changes in here, right, and in here that lead to success. Okay, some of you are just not seeing some things, okay, and I'm speaking about that from the moon, okay, that your own subconscious beliefs are what are holding you back and holding you into this situation. It may be subconscious or conscious, fluctuating emotions, and again, that Four of Cups speaks to feeling emotionally unfulfilled, okay? Maybe you're up and down right now. Maybe that's what I'm getting from this, Scorpio. But, you know, the moon speaks to moodiness sometimes, fears, anxious, anxiety, okay, uncertainty, you know, kind of feeling, you know, this way and that way. But this is the thing. The moon invites you to not believe everything that you see and everything that you hear, but trusting your intuition, what's in here. Because your intuition is going to lead to the truth. But see, you're in, you know, I think, and maybe you're getting past this, and maybe you know this, but you've been in this situation, you know, this magician reversed energy, meaning that you had the power, you just wouldn't step into it. You doubted yourself. You doubted your abilities. You doubted your value many times. That can speak to, but you doubted your abilities, okay? I keep getting doubt, self-doubt, self-confidence, you know, issues. And that's what you need to put by the wayside this full moon, right? Just going to call it like I see it, Scorpio. Put that away. That's what that's about. And in doing so, you're going to find the abundance that you want, but you have to take the actions to correct it. You know, the Four of Cups invites you to look at the situation. What's making you feel malcontent, discontented, you know, bored, you know, emotionally unfulfilled, and figure out what actions you need to take to correct it. It may be changing what's in here. Oftentimes that's what this moon has to do with, right? And in here, your mindset. But many times it is about cutting relationships and situationships out of your life, even if they're only up here, even if, you know, that's all it is. But, you know, these relationships where it's complicated, time to go, right? Not serving your best interest, not serving your, you know, higher self, your goals, your energetic vibration. Time to go, whether it's inside and or out, okay? And oftentimes it's both, you know, so we'll just take that as it resonates, Scorpios. So, okay, with that being said, let's talk Sagittarius, okay? Let's see what you need to know going into this full moon that is going to be so lovely and so beautiful. It's going to free us from such baggage. You know, I just feel very good about it. Okay, Sagittarius, what do we need to do? Well, some of you are walking, you know what? It shows you abandoning a path. And it was not something that fulfilled you, okay? Walking away from something where there may have even been deceit or a hidden agenda, betrayal perhaps, disillusionment. Maybe you weren't seeing some red flags, okay? Maybe this is an invitation to do that as well. But do allow yourself to flow, okay? And be grateful for what you do have. Don't focus on what is gone. Don't focus on what you walked away from or what walked away from you. Because trust me, if the tower fell, you needed to let it fall because it was not serving your best interest, okay? You know, this person is looking back, okay? You don't want to be looking back. You want to move forward. And certainly there is a time for reflection and shadow work, but you don't want to be overly focused on that because if you focus on the loss, that's what you're going to manifest. If you fear future loss, that's what you're going to manifest, okay? You know, there is perfectionism that you dealt with either in yourself or in someone else. Egotistical energy, okay? You got the Three of Pentacles reversed, okay? You've got earth, water, and fire. Again, I take those zodiac signs with a grain of salt many times because the most important thing is the message, okay? But, you know, you felt like you weren't recognized or, you know, that your abilities or your value was not seen, okay? You were not appreciated. That's what I'm getting. But, you know, you have the Three of Wands, which is a call to take the risk and do the shadow work and the healing. Three of Wands is all about healing, okay? Three of Wands is all about taking action, okay? Three of Wands is all about making progress and that you have the skills to get past this situation and heal from it, okay? So I do like it for you a lot, Sagittarius. A lot that you've gone through, and we both know that. I've been watching your readings for a while now, and many of you have dealt with something that was very, very painful. I'm just going to call it like I remember it. You know, readings like that, you know, you don't forget, okay? So I think I see many of you moving past that and cutting that pain and putting it where it belongs, not suppressing it and not burying it, doing the shadow work to overcome it and cutting out that situationship, that it's complicated, etc., etc., etc. Right, Sagittarius? Okay, so with that being said, let's talk to my Cappies. Capricorn, how are you doing? All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to look at your full moon messages, what you need to know. What do we need to know? Heads up for my catties, right? Well, some of you dealt with some roadblocks or stalemates, felt like you were trapped and you couldn't move forward. You may not have seen some things. We have air and fire and water on the board. Again, I throw zodiac signs out with a grain of salt, saying it may or may not be your story. So take what resonates, okay? But here again, you know, some of you wouldn't see the red flags, wouldn't acknowledge them. But some of you, maybe just some things were hidden, okay? Dealt with maybe mixed signals, conflicting opinions, a lot of conflict, okay? For some of you, blocked communication or inability to communicate in a productive manner where there was agreement found, okay? Just disagreement, okay? But here's the thing, and I'm going to say this. You have the Five of Cups in the upright, led to a lot of disappointment, feeling loss, emotional upheaval, okay? Can mean lost in financial as well, but tragedy can mean abuse, okay? Just going to throw that out there. Do not stay in a dangerous situation, okay? You and yours, you need to get out. Okay, I always say that when I see that in what I'm reading. But the Five of Cups is about inviting you to be grateful for the blessings you do have. In this card, and I had this earlier, and I'm going to show it again. But in this card, this person is overly focused on the cups that are spilled over. But if you look, they have their back turned and they are refusing to acknowledge the things that are true blessings. If you focus on the loss, you're going to manifest more of the same. If you turn around from what you had your back to and be grateful for the things that are great and good and your blessings, guess what you're going to manifest? More reasons to be grateful, more blessings. So change your focus. That is what this has to do with Capricorn. Taking action, okay, is what this is all about. You have the King of Wands at the heart of the spread. To be empowered and take responsibility for the things that do happen. Raise your vibration. Take action to make the changes, right? Don't become overly arrogant or overly egotistical, but do take the action to make the things happen. Okay, Kings are generally mature energy, and the tarot is genderless, so just keep that in mind. So I like it a lot for you, Capricorn. Just again, cutting things out that are no longer serving you. So Aquarius, let's talk. Okay. What do we need to know going into this full moon? What do we need to know going into this full moon? What do we need to know? What do we need to know going in? All right, Aquarius. Whoa, new cards. A little bit difficult to shuffle just yet. I'm going to do one more shuffle for you, Aquarius. That's just what I'm feeling. And that's it. Okay. Well. Okay. Very interesting. Whoa. Okay. Some of you may have dealt with fluctuating emotions and wishy-washiness. And maybe that's you. And some of you, Aquarius, have third-party situations. I got 2 3s here, and I'm just going to call it like I see it. Okay. And the reason I say fluctuating, and maybe there was an end to something, okay? Because here's the thing. You had the Three of Cups going on, okay? But you also have the Three of Pentacles in reverse, okay? So that can speak to fluctuating emotions. It can mean, it can speak to divorce, okay? Because Three of Cups is all about celebrations. But then you got the Three of Pentacles in reverse, where somebody... but long-term, felt like a long-term relationship, and many times it felt harmonious, but then someone stopped realizing someone's value. That's what that Three of Pentacles can often speak to. Perfectionistic, egotistical energy, okay? And then here's where it left you. And I have gotten this card in so many different signs, and I swear to goodness, I am shuffling these cards. You saw it, okay? Here's the thing. This Five of Cups led to a lot of loss, emotional or otherwise, okay? But here's the thing. If you want to look at this, I keep showing this card up close for a reason, because you see this person is focused on what they lost, okay? The cups that are spilled over are the person is facing. But look what they've turned their back on. 2 beautiful cups that are upright and shining and glowing. Those are blessings that are being overlooked and ignored. This is to focus on the positive, because if you continue to focus on what you lost, that will be what you manifest. If you turn around and face your blessings, okay, and focus on where you're blessed and being grateful for those things, you're going to manifest more things to be grateful. And I'm not saying to ignore your feelings and, and not do the shadow work, but focus on the blessings, because that is, that attitude of gratitude is going to go a long way in bringing more of reasons to have that same mindset, okay? So, yeah, I think some of you have suffered some loss. I'm just getting that from this. I really do, Aquarius, and that's what I see for you. Okay, so let's deal with you, Pisces. How are you doing, my Pisces folks? Okay, what do we need to know going into this full moon, Pisces? What do we need to know? I'm going to shuffle for you really good, okay? Pisces folks. All right, beautiful water sign, Pisces. Beautiful water sign. What do we have to know for you? Well, I keep getting the same cards. Man, this is, same exact. Well, I like this. Okay. All right. I like where you're headed. You have been or are dealing with a lot of turmoil that has left you overburdened, overthinking, worrying, and maybe it came to an end, because you do have the 10 of Wands. If not, it speaks to the need for it to. Snip, snip, cutting it out, right? Cutting out that which no longer aligns with where you're headed. Many of you are dealing with blocked communications and or a roadblock or a stalemate or just disagreements where the communication just leads to further disagreement, okay? Opposing sides, missing each other entirely. Not seeing some red flags, perhaps, not seeing some truths, maybe inability to or not willing to. Can be either with this 2 of Swords, okay? 10 of Wands was the other card. But here's what's really interesting. You have the 8 of Wands, okay, in the upright, which is this. Several things along with that card, okay? And that is this. That card invites you to take a look at what went wrong and what went right, and to make any adjustments inside to keep from manifesting more of the same, okay? And it invites you to take quick action to do so. And I think many of you have delayed taking action and delayed doing the energy work and the shadow work. I'm just going to call it like I'm getting this intuitively from the combination of these 3 cards combined, okay? It calls you to step out in new directions. You can't do that without snipping out the old, okay? Cutting out the old. This is what this full moon is about, and this is what these cards are saying. Cut out the old, make room for the new. Cut out the old behaviors that didn't serve you, the old relationships, situationships, it's complicated relationship statuses. Get rid of all that crap. That's what this is about, okay? And go towards your passion where you're energetically aligned, and your goal is as far as raising your vibration, and take swift action to do so, okay? That is what this is about. Analyze the situation and then take action, and don't hesitate to do it, okay? Just do it. Like Nike says, just do it, okay? Don't hesitate to do it. That's what I'm getting from this, okay? It does speak to making progress if you do all that. Just going to speak to that. So with that being said, I'm now going to do some collective advice for everyone, okay? As far as some, parting bits of advice as far as going forward. Some overall advice for my viewers. Okay, and if you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button, like and share this, okay, and hit me up either by email. I love hearing from you guys in the comments, so yes, let me hear from you if anything that I said resonates. Of course, check all your 4 signs, right? Your sun, moon, rising, and Venus placements, as well as any other significant placements in your chart. And if you don't know that information, check the description box below. You can see how to get a free birth chart to get your entire zodiac chart. Okay, and that will tell you all of your placements. Okay, so what is my parting words of advice for all of my viewers? Okay, well, trust your intuition, right? Do the shadow work, okay? And don't be withdrawn. Be intuitive, okay? Don't ignore red flags. This has to do with secrets that are being revealed to you. I've gotten that overwhelmingly in many, many, many of my individual signs, if you'll go back and look about it. You know, don't ignore the red flags. There are unexplored areas of potential for many of you, okay? Look within. That's where you're going to find your guidance and your wisdom inside you. No one knows what is best for you like you. Boom. That's a beautiful card. Highly intuitive energetically, okay? And speaking to opportunity, love, love, love it, okay? Choose your direction wisely. Use your intuition to do it. Work on your goal every single day, okay? Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither is your place where you're headed, okay? Small, slow, and steady wins the race. Kind of the tortoise and the hare thing. Pentacles often has to do with remaining patient, and that is certainly advice associated with this card, okay? But it does speak to a new opportunity with successful outcomes. So if you cut out the old, you're going to find the outcome. Most every reading I've had is about cutting out things that are no longer serving us. So certainly that card would resonate with everybody. You know what? You have the Six of Swords. Take action. Don't get distracted, and don't worry about what other people think. I said this a while ago. Only you inside know what is best for you, and you find it by meditating, right? Doing the energy work, right? Raising your vibration, self-care. Spend time with just you, okay? This speaks to coming out of a dark time. The lady, and again, the tarot is genderless, but the lady has put her swords away. She is really done fighting. She's done with the nonsense, and she sees the truth. That's what swords are all about. The dark clouds are still there. She's navigating away from them. This is a card of travel and relocation, but I'm going to say that in more often than not, in this specific situation, it is energetic travel, moving away from, cutting out. Okay, cutting out the old and making room for the new, and walk and healing, having a cool head. Okay, recognize your quick thinking. Understand that that very first knee-jerk thought is probably your intuition. Don't be afraid to set boundaries, and understand and trust divine timing. Love, love, love it for you guys. Again, if you haven't already done so, certainly subscribe to my channel. Hit me up for a personal reading if you like. You can see all the different types of readings that I offer and the pricing down below in the video. And I wish you the greatest success going forward, okay? Have a beautiful, beautiful week and day especially, right?